These stories are inspired by the actual case files of the Office of Scientific Investigation and Research.
Do you have any discomfort there?
Yeah,
From inside or around the incision?
the incision.
You can get dressed now. You're doing remarkably well, Andrea, considering.
Considering I was almost dead.
Considering you just had major abdominal surgery, this is all good news.
Great.
Andrea, you're very fortunate. Not every kidney transplant goes as well as yours.
I know. I'm really lucky. Okay, I'll see you next week.
Hi.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stare, but
Do we know each other?
no. No, it's just you're awfully familiar.
Happens to me all the time.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bother you.
Taxi!
Are you all right?
I'm fine.
Thoughts, memories, and perceptions are typically generated within our minds as a result of external stimuli in our lives. But is it possible for a mind to be on the receiving end of thoughts, memories, and perceptions which originated from another person and were transmitted without verbal communication? What would this do to the privacy of consciousness, surely one of the foundations of sanity? Is there an explanation possible for this potentially terrifying phenomenon?
How many times have you had the visions?
Twice.
And the woman you described seeing, do you know who she is?
No, I have no idea. I've never seen her before in my life.
And you say a symbol appeared.
Right after the first time, it was burned into the brick. What does that mean? Why is this happening to me?
Well, you have just been through the single most stress-filled period in your life. What with the death of your fiancé and Andrea.
Andrea?
It's happening again.
Andrea, look at me.
I feel like I'm gonna faint.
What is it?
Case number 295143, case manager Connor Doyle. We're investigating a 21-year-old university student who claims to be experiencing telepathic moments. One incident was accompanied by apparent psychokinetic phenomena and was witnessed by investigator Lindsay Donner.
Here's your medical file.
Thanks. You believe Andrea is actually experiencing someone else's thoughts?
Well, I was ready to dismiss it all to post-operative delusion, but when we saw this, Andrea has told me that there is a gift of clairvoyance in her family, and I know she takes that seriously, but this is really out of my expertise.
The markings on the mirror coincided with the psychic flashes?
Well, they weren't there when we came in.
Listen, if you want to examine the mirror, just take it out of here. To tell you the truth, I can't stand looking at it anymore.
Preliminary results reveal carbon residue on the images, which suggests that they were created by highly localized combustion at a very high temperature. We have two issues here which may or may not be related. Andrea's reported visions and the psychokinetic phenomena.
I think it's a little early to run experiments on the subject.
Anton, what possible explanation do we have for Andrea's visions? What could have triggered them?
Well, any number of things. Could be post-traumatic stress disorder, hallucinations.
Has she been on any medication?
Yes, she's on cyclosporin, clofiran, and sulfurine, and they're all immune system inhibitors. They're used to minimize the rejection risk of her newly transplanted kidney.
Any relevant side effects?
Well, the main one, of course, is the risk of infection. That's because the immune system is being suppressed. But with clofiran, there have been cases of psychosis, although it's extremely rare.
Psychosis?
Sulfurine has only recently been approved by the FDA. In fact, St. Margaret's Hospital is the first one to actually use this drug in a clinical setting.
See what you can find out about sulfurine. Lindsay?
Our background checks on Andrea bear out her claims of clairvoyance. It seems to have been passed down maternally. In fact, her great-aunt was a clairvoyant who worked with the police department in locating missing persons and the geological service in predicting earthquakes. It's all in here.
Any leads on the woman whose reflection allegedly appeared in the mirror?
Well, not so far.
Well, if it were something to do with her family, then... Who's Leslie Norvell?
That's Andrea's cousin, the donor of the transplanted kidney.
Lindsay, I want you to stay here with Andrea. Anton, let's you and I go back a few months and make a closer examination of Andrea's life leading up to these incidents. First thing I want to do is meet Leslie Norvell.
Oh, hi. Are you the people who called earlier?
We're looking for Leslie Norvell.
Yeah, at your service. Revisiting an old hobby of mine. It just started again out of the blue a few months ago.
You donated one of your kidneys to Andrea Best.
Yeah, that's right. See, a year ago, a viral infection left me completely blind. I had a double cornea transplant. But it turned me right around. It was like getting a totally new lease on life. So when I heard Andrea wanted a kidney, Is that what this is about? Is there some trouble with the transplant?
No, the transplant's doing very well. She's been having some unusual experiences which we're investigating.
Unusual experiences?
Have you had any peculiar incidents?
Well, how do you mean?
Incidents that you would characterize as voices or visions?
Have you ever felt as if you've experienced the thoughts or feelings of others?
Well, I guess after the operation I had some dizziness, but... Telepathy or something like you're talking about? No, I don't think so, no. Is that what Andrea's got? Poor Andrea. I had her and Brian over here for dinner the week before it happened. Death is always hard, but when someone young dies abruptly like that, it just seems so arbitrary. I'm sorry I can't be much more help than that.
Not at all. You've been very cooperative. Thank you, Mr. Norvell. If you do remember anything unusual or if anything out of the ordinary should occur, that's our number.
Thanks.
Connor, I think you better have a look at this.
I'm gonna have some tea. Do you want some?
Yeah, thanks.
That's Brian.
Brian.
We were supposed to be married in April. But he was killed in a car accident 6 months ago. I'm the lucky one, and I got to live.
I'm so sorry, Andrea.
I haven't been in a car since. You know, you remember the strangest things? Brian's shoe was thrown on the hood just by itself, and I remember thinking, I wonder if that's the last thing I'll ever see. Time for another pill.
Andrea?
Please. Please make it stop. I can't keep living like this.
A year ago, a viral infection left me completely blind. I had a double cornea transplant. But it turned me right around. It was like getting a totally new lease on life.
Aside from the obvious, how do cornea transplants differ from kidney transplants?
The corneas used for transplants come from cadaveric sources, people who are brain dead but kept alive on life support systems.
Now, the cornea can be quite peripheral to the immune system, so there's much less chance of rejection.
He has no idea what inspired him to paint that symbol.
No. He said it came to him out of the blue. He'd never painted anything like that before.
Has Leslie Norvell been on any medication since the operation?
Selverine for a short time.
The same drug Andrea's been on.
Yes, I've been going through the reports of the clinical trials. Now, there have been some strange side effects of this selverine. Fluctuating blood pressure, stimulation of the temporal lobes.
Where memories occur. How could memories be linked to transplanted organs?
Well, no one knows how memories work. However, there's a theory floating around that a subtle change in protein production could actually cause changes in the nerve cells where memory resides.
Protein production. But how could proteins from the transplanted organ get into the nerve cells in the brain? And why would those proteins be the exact ones that encode or influence memories?
Unless this new drug, selverine, is somehow confusing or expediting the process.
So that memories are encoded not in the temporal lobes, but in other tissue.
It's possible.
Well, if that were true, then the complex of memory would have first passed to Leslie, and then from Leslie to Andrea. That's incredible.
I think we should take Andrea off selverine now.
But then we'll lose the chance of understanding what's happened. I'd like to find out as much as we can about selverine.
How is Andrea's condition?
Not good. Our investigation has complicated her life as it is, and she feels that she's been shut out of her own recovery process.
Shut out? Do we know the name of the hospital where Leslie Norvell received his cornea transplant?
St. Margaret's, the same hospital. The organ donor was Eileen McKay, died September 1995, age 32.
Cause of death?
Accidental. Massive cerebral hemorrhage from a fall down a flight of stairs.
Next of kin?
Her husband.
Hazen McKay, 62 Tower Road.
This is it.
This is what?
This is the house. I've been here before. I mean, well, no, I haven't been here before, but I know this place.
Hello.
Oh my God.
Can I help you?
It's you.
Do you know each other?
I don't think so.
Yes. No, we don't, but
I'm Hazen McKay. What's this all about?
the first time it happened, the visions, it happened after I saw you.
Let me see if I understand this. You're saying that you remember this house like a deja vu?
Like a deja everything.
I don't understand that.
Andrea, how do you feel now?
Fine. I don't feel it anymore. The feeling of terror, I thought that by being here it would bring it on, but I don't feel it anymore. It's gone.
Seeing Hazen McKay, the husband of the woman who donated the corneas, triggered Andrea's visions.
Now that she's no longer at the mercy of a connection that she doesn't understand, the visions have disappeared. Andrea's starting to feel that they won't come back.
And her biostat responses bear that out. She's exhibiting typically normal responses. She's as sound as she ever was.
Although this does coincide with the fact that we took her off the selverine as well as the clofuran.
Clofuran, that was the drug with the psychotic side effects. Which is another reason why she may not be experiencing the visions anymore. It's just...
It doesn't explain the burning images, does it?
Unless they were simply the result of psychic kinetic resonance or overflow. We've seen that before. Well, I'm glad to see you're so well recovered, at least. Final case log. Either because of the side effects from salfarine or because of her own latent clairvoyance, Andrea Best was able to receive memories from Eileen McKay via Leslie Norvell. We will continue to monitor Andrea periodically. But it seems that her visions have vanished as abruptly as they began. Connor Doyle out.
Hi, again.
Hi.
Sorry I'm late.
I was beginning to think you didn't get my message.
Better late than never, right?
Right. Come on in. I just mean how different this century is from any other.
I wonder what it's gonna be like 100 years from now.
Well, thank you. I'm having a hard enough time coming to terms with my own time.
I have a picture of Brian in that exact same spot.
It's the last photograph I have of her.
This is exactly how she looked when I saw her. Except the sleeve on her robe was ripped.
You can remember that much from your visions? That the sleeve was ripped? It's incredible.
Although I'm remembering less and less now, it's all sort of fading. What was she like?
Eileen?
Do people still ask you about her? Yeah, that's like Brian. People don't know what to say. They want to say something, I know, but they don't know what to say. Does it get easier as the months go by?
It does. Though I have mixed feelings about that. Because you start to forget. But, I know she'd want me to go on with my life. Just as Brian would you.
Mm.
I'm sorry. I was taking advantage of the moment. It's not right.
No. It didn't feel strange. It felt right. It's just...
You don't have to say anything.
No. I think what you said was right. And we do need to go on with our lives. And I want to. Can I ask you something? Have you been with anyone since Eileen?
No.
Me neither. But I like you. God, this place feels so familiar to me.
God.
Are you okay?
He did it. He did it. He killed her. He would have killed me too.
That's why she had this terrible sense of foreboding and fear that someone would die. She was remembering Eileen McKay's murder.
And the octagonal design in the floor. That was the last thing Eileen saw before she died.
Yeah, it was in effect burned into the consciousness of both Leslie and Andrea.
As if it were the last message she ever gave.
Fortunately, it manifested itself in time in Leslie's painting. Otherwise, the story might have had an entirely different ending. Revised final log entry. Eileen McKay's memories seem to have been transferred through Leslie Norvell to Andrea Best, resulting in the discovery of the truth about Eileen McKay's death. Andrea Best, for someone who's undergone a brutal ordeal, has recuperated very well. Though she's experienced no further phenomena, she has promised to remain in close contact with our office. Connor Doyle, out.
This is not the only case of such a nature which the OSIR has encountered. A reasonable theory to explain Andrea Best's experience might be that on a cellular, genetic, or molecular level, impressions specific to one individual are encoded strongly enough so that in some medical donor situations, these impressions could be physically transferred from one person to another. I'm Dan Aykroyd for Psi Factor.
We're gonna talk some sense into her.
Let's just get her to come home.
Hi, did you help our mission? I know I saw his damn truck pull in. They gotta be here somewhere.
There they are. Jill? Oh, Jill, thank God you're okay.
What have you done to our daughter?
You almost hit my car.
You're lucky I don't hit you, pal.
I'm sorry, is there a problem here?
Come on, let's go home.
No, Mom, you don't understand. Can't live without Bruce. You'd do anything for him.
Jill, please listen to me. You don't even really know this young man.
Carolyn, when two people love each other, when they desire each other, they shouldn't deny themselves those feelings. Now, don't you agree?
Who the hell do you think you are?
Mind control. The power of one person to exert influence over the will and thoughts of another. Svengali, Wolf-Messing, and Rasputin are examples of individuals who may have had this capacity. When this ability is possessed by someone with ill intent, the effects can be devastating. What if you could control the desires and impulses of others? How would you use this power?
I'm sorry, but I'm not sure what we can do for you. Lindsay, maybe you can explain.
Sure. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Starling, this was a preliminary assessment to determine if we should open a file. And really, there isn't enough evidence.
Jill has been taken from us by this Bruce Farrell character. He made her go with him. That's enough for me.
But we can't proceed without your daughter's full cooperation.
But she's so young. She doesn't know what she's doing.
Well, Jill is 20. Legally, she's an adult. This may be a matter more for the police.
The police? They're laying charges against me, assault. I barely touched him.
Maybe if we just talk to Bruce.
No, I'm not gonna sit around and wait until the little cult this guy's got going turns into another Waco. I've got a line on a deprogrammer.
Mr. Starling, that's not a good idea.
We'll pull her out of wherever he's taken her, lock her down, and we'll talk some sense into her.
Could you give us a second? Lindsay, let's not walk away from this so quickly.
Would you mind telling me why you're willing to break the rules?
I think there's more going on here than meets the eye. What aren't you telling me, Mr. Starling? What did you see?
I've told you everything.
How did your wife react to Farrell?
Well, she was angry. Of course, he's much older than Jill.
No, I mean in the parking lot at the mall. You hit him. Why?
Carolyn kissed him. Really kissed him. And it wasn't just the kiss. It was the way that she looked at him.
Sean?
What is it?
Jill's passport's gone.
You see, he's gonna take her away. She's gonna get hurt.
Tell me again how your daughter met Farrell.
At some concert. Total loser, she called him. And 2 days later, he shows up here, off they go in his truck, no contact for 2 weeks. Except this. It's a mailed request for money.
Is this her handwriting?
She wants a check mailed to that address.
The post office box at the same mall where you had the run-in with him.
$3,000.
He's not gonna get a red cent. I want my daughter back.
Send the check. Doyle, memo to file. Trailed Bruce Farrell from the mail drop to a farm he's renting. We will attempt to establish contact with Jill Starling.
Get it?
Why do you like it there, Jill?
It's peaceful, and Bruce is wonderful. It's like a paradise.
Well, what about your friends and family?
I have new friends now. And Bruce.
Your parents are worried about you, you know.
Why? My mom understands Bruce. And everyone will understand soon.
Understand what?
Bruce's message. His message of everlasting love.
Well, if she's calling out for help, I really don't hear it.
I know you don't like to diagnose over the phone.
Yeah. Even so, Jill Starling is a member of a classic pseudo-religious cult. The situation for her is far from ideal, but Farrell does seem to be providing her with some emotional security.
Anton, tell me if I miss any steps. She meets Farrell. He tells her of an opportunity for personal growth and love. Then he isolates her from her friends and family. No calls, no visits. He changes her appearance, breaks her down. Then after no sleep and little food, he surrounds her with a supportive group of prior converts. He destroys her individuality and creates the identity he wants.
That's the process. Manson did it. David Koresh.
Except in this case, at least according to Jill's parents, he seems to be able to do all that with just a few moments of eye contact. How?
Well, there's one way to find out.
Thank you. Ma'am, would you like to help us with our mission?
Not today, thanks.
Help us with our mission?
You're coming in loud and clear, Lindsay. How are you feeling about this?
Like this could be a big waste of time. My biostats registering?
Perimeter secure.
Everything's online. Now let's hope he shows.
Stand by. He's here. I want to make sure I get his attention.
Whoa. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. My head's just somewhere else today.
Hey, what's your name?
It's Lindsay.
Lindsay. What's wrong? Hey, look at me.
I don't know.
Why don't you come with me? And we'll talk about changing everything. And making it better.
Donner's reacting to something. Pulse and respiratory rate are on the rise.
Lindsay, where have you been? Hi. I'm sorry to barge in, but we should have been downtown nearly an hour ago.
I see this isn't gonna work out. Perhaps another time.
Gunner?
Did you see that?
Lindsay.
What? I have no recollection of this. I can't believe it.
Your galvanic skin responses shot up remarkably during this encounter.
Do you find him attractive?
No. I mean, he's not my type. I obviously had no control over what I was doing.
This could be some kind of spontaneous hypnosis.
Or a drug he managed to slip her.
But when? You were watching the whole time.
Let's see if we can find anything out of the ordinary in Lindsay's system.
What about the investigation?
I've seen enough. We'll expedite protocol. Begin round-the-clock surveillance in Farrell's place.
I'll be in the van. It's freezing out there.
Oh, Bruce, Jill, and the others just returned from shopping.
Who's this?
That's her. Get her in the car.
Jill, I'm warning you, don't leave me.
Jill? What are you doing? Stop it!
Carolyn, get in the car.
Mrs. Starling,
Bruce!
you don't want to do this.
Stop it! Let go of me! I don't want to go! Stop it!
Carolyn!
Bruce, stop them!
Jill, you can't live without me.
Jill, what's wrong? Baby, Sean, something's wrong.
Jill! Hang on, honey.
Pull over! Pull over!
Okay, come on.
What happened?
I don't know. She just started gagging and then she collapsed.
Jill? Oh, God, what's wrong with her?
Doyle here. We've intercepted the car. Stand by.
We have to get her to a hospital immediately.
Oh, my God, what have we done? What have we done?
Right. It's all right. She's gonna be okay.
Case log entry, file number 734138. Investigation into one Bruce Farrell has officially commenced. Farrell appears to exercise an unknown form of mind control with potentially deadly results.
Jill Starling is in a deep coma. She's dying.
Is there any cause for her condition?
She has an overabundance of endorphins in her system.
Which can produce an effect not unlike that of morphine.
Yes, and like an overdose of morphine, it is suppressing her respiratory system.
Is it possible that Farrell could have caused this reaction in her?
Well, I don't see how. But after seeing his effect on Lindsay, I'm not going to say no.
We were grabbing a bite at the food court. Some kid walks into the First Hanover Trust with a small bomb. Being the hero, Bruce stopped the robbery, but the bomb went off.
Well, that incident was the defining moment in Farrell's life. But before that...
I go to movies.
This is from a video dating service.
I like Westerns. I don't understand why some women don't like me. I think I can be a lot of fun.
That's the Bruce Farrell everyone I talked to knew.
And now, this interview was conducted a month later.
After the bomb explosion.
Yeah.
We're speaking with Bruce Farrell, the hero who last month stopped and saved several people by taking the brunt of a bomb explosion. Bruce, what were you thinking?
What was I thinking? Actually, at the time, I just felt, hey, those people need me. You know, that's pretty much all I could think about. Maybe we ought to go somewhere to discuss it.
It's quite the recovery. That reporter, she's one of the women living at the farm?
Amanda Sanderson. The day after that interview, she quit her job to be with him. Her husband still can't believe it.
The wound from the explosion. Some of the fragments entered his brain?
Yes.
Well, from the angle, it may have creased his hypothalamus, the part of the brain which regulates sexuality.
Providing him with some PK ability to attract and control women sexually.
It could be that this near-death experience has given him a feeling of invincibility, and women are drawn in by this newfound confidence.
Could this explain Jill's condition?
This classic experiment where the pleasure center of a rat's brain is wired directly to a lever, and the rat presses and presses and presses on this lever, releasing unlimited endorphins. Not eating, not drinking, dying for pleasure.
What do these women see in him? Why don't they just leave?
Maybe they can't.
I hope you're hungry.
When are you going to do something useful for me? What about that interview at the TV station?
Bruce, you know I don't work there anymore. But we could try again.
My message has to be delivered. All of you, listen. I must find a new way to be heard. You displease me. You're useless. Leave. Now. You can't live without me.
Farrell's profile suggests that once he's taken advantage of the women, he gradually loses interest and essentially discards them. Can't we go in and physically remove the other women from the farm?
No. It seems Farrell can shut down a woman's will to live once she leaves him.
Well, Amanda's suffering from the same conditions as Jill. I could prescribe antidepressants, but I have to wait till their breathing stabilizes.
And that could take too long. Connor, we have to intervene.
He hasn't done anything the authorities can charge him with. We have to come up with some solid evidence, something we can prove.
I'm convinced this is all about ego gratification to serve some greater agenda.
Prior to the bombing incident, Farrell was unremarkable, although he applied to several police forces.
He was turned down. Why?
Same reason he washed out of the army. Inability to accept authority.
Unless it's his own.
Now, interestingly, some terrorists, particularly bombers, like to create the crises in order that they can step in and save the day. And typically, they're men like Farrell with an abiding interest in law enforcement.
There's something about the robbery and the bomb going off that just don't add up.
As to how he attracts women, I think we're dealing with a physical reaction here. In Donner, it was easy to miss. But with the other two women, we found an unusually high level of an odd carbon-based chemical in their systems.
What is it?
We don't know yet, but it resembles civitone, a pheromone, a chemical scent used by some mammals to attract their mates. Never proven effective on humans.
But if that does explain why women are drawn to him, then that also gives us a weapon to fight back.
Well, there's a series of drugs which counteract endorphins. With the right dosage, I might be able to bring Amanda and Jill around.
And if that works, how do we help the women still in the house?
Someone needs to confront Bruce Farrell.
Let's give it some time. Lindsay? Are you okay?
Yeah, I think so. It's just that
What?
I feel drawn to him, to the farm.
hope you realize the beauty of what we are creating here. As one of you leaves, another takes her place. Lindsay has joined us to serve a special purpose.
What is that purpose?
I have built something.
A bomb.
We'll take it to the police training academy.
Let's move in.
When I step in the aftermath, everyone will know my message.
I won't do that for you.
Don't contradict me. You can't live without me.
Yes, I can. We all can.
What are you saying? I am a hero to these women, and I am going to be a hero again to everyone.
You're a fraud. The bank robbery, I checked into it. You knew the kid. Told him where all the weak points in the bank were. Set it up so you would look like a hero.
But the explosion, I saved those people.
That wasn't supposed to happen. You screwed up. You always screw up.
You can't live without me.
Farrell. Final log entry. Conspiracy charges have been brought against Bruce Farrell. Donner's reverse psychology appeared to successfully counteract whatever mind control power Farrell may have had over the women. Unfortunately, 3 of the women still refuse to leave the compound and await his return. Davison's anti-endorphin serum appears successful in helping Amanda Sanderson and Jill Starling recover from their comatose state. We will continue to monitor Bruce Farrell's activities, but for the moment, this cult has become inactive. Doyle out.
Unlike the situation which developed at Jonestown, the OSIR in this case was able to intervene and prevent what could have become a difficult and dangerous set of circumstances. However, it seemed that Bruce Farrell possessed a mesmerizing influence beyond that used by religious cult leaders to gain control over their followers, and he used this ability to corrupt love for his own selfish benefits.